Om. 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 Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chinmayam Yapyat Sarvam Trailokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva bandhuscha sakha Tvameva Tvameva vedya dravinam Tvameva Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Jai Guru. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So where are we in our text?
Chapter 55.
Chapter 55. Will you help us out, please, Ani? You're not Amini, you're Aditi.
Chapter 55. Give up all and you gain all.
Yeah! We can go home now.
There is only trouble when you cling to something. When you hold on to nothing, no trouble arises. The relinquishing of the lesser is the gaining of the greater. Give up all and you gain all. Questioner. What is your state at the present moment? Maharaj. A state of non-experiencing. In it, all experience is included. Questioner. Can you enter into the mind and heart of another man and share his experience? Maharaj. No. Such things require special training. I am like a dealer in wheat. I know little about breads and cakes. Even the taste of a wheat gruel I may not know. But about the wheat grain I know all and well.
So let's stop there if we may. The question actually is, do siddhis or powers come to a person of realization? Is that part of it? We have all sorts of stories of great saints who read people's minds, or I'm thinking of Satya Sai Baba, who brought airports out of the air and stuff like that. These siddhis, accomplishments, are the function of mental practices. Just like big muscles are the result of going to the gym and working out. Siddhis are the result of doing mental exercise. Now, one of the good news dimensions of this is what a human being is capable of is far more than most of us think. We have far more abilities. but they of themselves have nothing to do with realization. The one thing that they can give us is they are all a result of concentration, of single pointedness of mind. That skill can be of great value. But that's about it. So Swami Tavovanam used to say, so you want to fly through the air? A bird can do that. So you want to stand on one leg for hours and hours and hours? A tree could do that. You want to sit immovable in the river for hours? A rock can do that. The Mahasiddhi, the one great accomplishment that the Jnani has, is peace of mind, freedom from fear, contentment, the cessation of struggle. Any thoughts on this before we go on? All right, please continue.
I know the source of all experience, but the innumerable particular forms experience can take, I do not know, nor do I need to know. From moment to moment, the little I need to know to live my life, I somehow happen to know.
So let's stop there. We hear the word omniscient to describe God. God knows everything. Well, if the self in me is what God is, how come I don't know everything? Well, you do and you don't. Everything that is knowable by you is known by consciousness. And consciousness is the knower of the field in every field of every knower. But when we drop our dependence on the rational dimension of mind, should I do this, should I do that, should I do this, should I do that, a deeper part of the mind becomes available. The intuition. So I know as an individual all I need to know at any given moment. And this intuition becomes an unerring guide for life. You get the intuitive feeling, oh, I should call so and so. I should go hither and thither. I've always wondered, where is thither? Anyway, you always get what you need to know when you need to know it. It doesn't mean you're always going to get what you want. Those are different things. But it's a dimension of the mind we have to practice. And we have to be willing to goof. Sometimes I think it's my intuition when it's really just an unconscious desire. And then, okay, but still perfect. Any thoughts on this before we go on? Now, let me balance this with a true story. Oh, this has to be, God, over 30 years ago. I was at an AA meeting in the city, and this woman was newly sober. And she says, oh, yes, I totally trust God now. God speaks to me in my mind and tells me to do this and not to do that. And I always listen to God's voice. And then my friend Aaron says, I hear those voices too when I don't take my medication. So God doesn't necessarily speak to us with voices. It's a sense of knowing, a sense of rightness. A wise person once said to me, "Do you know how you know when you're in tune with God's will? It brings a sense of peace." All right, going on.
Questioner. Your particular existence and my particular existence, do they both exist in the mind of Brahma? Maharaj. The universal is not aware of the particular. The existence as a person is a personal matter. A person exists in time and space, has name and shape, beginning and end. The universal includes all persons, and the absolute is at the root of and beyond all. Questioner. I am not concerned with the totality. My personal consciousness and your personal consciousness. What is the link between the two? Maharaj. Between two dreamers, what can be the link? Questioner. They may dream of each other. Maharaj. That is what people are doing. Everyone imagines others and sees a link with them. The seeker is the link. There is none other. Questioner. Surely there must be something in common between the many points of consciousness we are. Maharaj. Where are there many points? In your mind. You insist that your world is independent of your mind. How can it be? Your desire to know other people's minds is due to you not knowing your own mind. First, know your own mind, and you will find that the question of other minds does not arise at all, for there are no other people. You are the common factor, the only link between the minds. Being is consciousness. I am applies to all.
So let's stop there. So individually, I see the world from my viewpoint. You see the world from your viewpoint. I'm aware of my body. You are aware of your body. I'm aware of my thoughts and feelings. You are aware of your thoughts and feelings. But the awarer, the consciousness, we'll use his word, the awareness that illumines all that is one. Going on.
Questioner. The Supreme Reality, Parabrahman, may be present in all of us, but of what use is it to us? Maharaj. You are like a man who says, I need a place where I may keep my things, but of what use is space to me? Or, I need milk, tea, coffee, or soda, but for water I have no use. Don't you see that the Supreme Reality is what makes everything possible? But if you ask of what use it is to you, I must answer, none. In matters of daily life, the knower of the real has no advantage. He may even be at a disadvantage. Being free from greed and fear, he does not protect himself. The very idea of profit is foreign to him. He abhors accretions. His life is constant divesting, sharing, giving. Questioner. If there is no advantage in gaining the supreme, then why take the trouble? Maharaj. The trouble is only when you cling to something. When you hold on to nothing, no trouble arises. The relinquishing of the lesser is the gaining of the greater. Give up all, and you gain all. Then life becomes what it was meant to be, pure radiation from an inexhaustible source, In that light, the world appears dimly like a dream. Questioner: if my world is merely a dream and you are a part of it, what can you do for me? If the dream is not real, having no being, how can reality affect it? Maharaj: while it lasts, the dream has temporary being. It is your desire to hold on to it that creates the problem. Let go. Stop imagining that the dream is yours. Questioner: you seem to take for granted that there can be a dream without a dreamer, and that I identify myself with the dream of my own sweet will. But I am the dreamer and the dream too. Who is to stop dreaming? Maharaj: let the dream unroll itself to the very end. You cannot help it, but you can look at the dream as a dream and refuse it the stamp of reality. Questioner: here I am, sitting before you. I am dreaming, and you are watching me talking in my dream. What is the link between us? Maharaj: my intention to wake you up is the link. My heart wants you awake. I see you suffer in your dream, and I know that you must wake up to end your woes. When you see your dream as a dream, you wake up. But in your dream itself, I am not interested. It is enough for me to know that you must wake up. You need not bring your dream to a definite conclusion or make it noble, happy, or beautiful. All you need is to realize that you are dreaming. Stop imagining. Stop believing. See the contradictions, the incongruities, the falsehood, and the sorrow of the human state, the need to go beyond. Within the immensity of space floats a tiny atom of consciousness, and in it, the entire universe is contained. Questioner: there are affections in the dream which seem real and everlasting. Do they disappear on waking up? Maharaj: in dream, you love some and not others. On waking up, you find you are love itself, embracing all. Personal love, however intense and genuine, invariably binds. Love in freedom is love of all. Questioner: people come and go. One loves whom one meets. One cannot love all. Maharaj: when you are love itself, you are beyond time and numbers. In loving one, you love all. In loving all, you love each. One and all are not exclusive. Questioner: you say you are in a timeless state. Does it mean that past and future are open to you? Did you meet Vasishtha Muni, Rama's guru? Maharaj: the question is in time and about time. Again, you are asking me about the contents of a dream. Timelessness is beyond the illusion of time. It is not an extension of time. He who calls himself...
Let me stop there a moment, if I may. So we have two words in Sanskrit which make it a little clearer. We have the word nitya, which means eternal. And then we have words like Sanatanam and Purana, which mean ancient. Puranam and Sanatanam, ancient, mean really, really old, meaning occurring in the linear movement of time, or the circular one, however you want to look at it. Nityam, eternal, is outside of time. You are both Sanatanam and When you were a child, who knew the child's body and the child's experience? I did. But right here, right now, your childhood is just a thought. It's a memory. There is no real past. There's just your memory, which is a kind of thinking. There's no future, which is also a kind of thinking. You are always now. But in that now, the movie of life just keeps moving. With a succession of now. Going on.
He who calls himself Vasishtha knew Vasishtha. I am beyond all names and shapes. Vasishtha is a dream in your dream. How can I know him? You are too much concerned with past and future. It is all due to your longing to continue, to protect yourself against extinction. And as you want to continue, you want others to keep you company, hence your concern with their survival. But what you call survival is but the survival of a dream. Death is preferable to it. There is a chance of waking up. Questioner. You are aware of eternity, therefore you are not concerned with survival. Maharaj. It is the other way around. Freedom from all desire is eternity. All attachment implies fear, for all things are transient, and fear makes one a slave. This freedom from attachment does not come with practice. It is natural when one knows one's true being. Love does not cling. Clinging is not love. Questioner. So there is no way to gain detachment? Maharaj. There is nothing to gain. Abandon all imaginings and know yourself as you are. Self-knowledge is detachment. All craving is due to a sense of insufficiency. When you know that you lack nothing, that all there is you and yours, desire ceases. Questioner. To know myself, must I practice awareness? Maharaj. There is nothing to practice. To know yourself, be yourself. To be yourself, stop imagining yourself to be this or that. Just be. Let your true nature emerge. Don't disturb your mind with seeking. Questioner. It will take much time if I just wait for self-realization. Maharaj. What have you to wait for when it is already here and now? You have only to look and see. Look at yourself, at your own being. You know that you are, and you like it. Abandon all imagining, that is all. Do not rely on time. Time is death. He who waits dies. Life is now only. Do not talk to me about past and future. They exist only in your mind. Questioner. You too will die. Maharaj. I am dead already. Physical death will make no difference in my case. I am timeless being. I am free of desire and fear because I do not remember the past or imagine the future. When there are no names and shapes, how can there be desire and fear? With desirelessness comes timelessness. I am safe because what is cannot touch what is not. Sorry. I am safe because what is not cannot touch what is. You feel unsafe because you imagine danger. Of course, your body as such is complex and vulnerable and needs protection. But not you. Once you realize your own unassailable being, you will be at peace. Questioner, how can I find peace when the world suffers? Maharaj, the world suffers for very valid reasons. If you want to help the world, you must be beyond the need of help. Then all you're doing as well as not doing will help the world most effectively.
Amen.
Questioner, how can non-action be of use where action is needed? Maharaj, where action is needed, action happens. Man is not the actor. His purpose is to be aware of what is happening. His very presence is action. The window is the absence of the wall, and it provides air and light because it is empty. Be empty of all mental content, of all imagination and effort, and the very absence of obstacles will cause reality to rush in. If you really want to help a person, keep away. If you are emotionally committed to helping, you will fail to help. You may be very busy and very pleased with your charitable nature, but not much will be done. A man is really helped when he is no longer in need of help. All else is just futility. Questioner, there is not enough time to sit and wait for help to happen. One must do something. Maharaj, by all means, do. But what you can do is limited. The self alone is unlimited. Give limitlessly of yourself. All else you can give in small measures only. You alone are immeasurable. To help is your very nature. Even when you eat and drink, you help your body. For yourself, you need nothing. You are pure giving, beginningless, endless, inexhaustible. When you see sorrow and suffering, be with it. Do not rush into activity. Neither learning nor action can really help. Be with sorrow and lay bare its roots. Helping to understand is real help. Questioner, my death is nearing. Maharaj, your body is short of time, not you. Time and space are in the mind only. You are not bound. Just understand yourself. That itself is eternity. That's the end of the chapter.
Any thoughts on it before we go on? Let's go on then.
Chapter 56. Consciousness arising, world arises. Consciousness arising, the world arises. When you consider the wisdom and the beauty of the world, you call it God. Know the source of it all, which is in yourself, and you will find all your questions answered. Questioner, when an ordinary man dies, what happens to him? Maharaj, it happens according to his belief. As life before death is but imagination, so is life after. The dream continues. Questioner, and what about the Jnani? Maharaj, the Jnani does not die because he was never born. Questioner, he appears so to others. Maharaj, but not to himself. In himself, he is free of things, physical and mental. Questioner,
So let's stop there if we may. There's a wonderful section in Vivekachudamani. Question is there prarabdha for the saint? We talk about the three kinds of karmas: sanchita, agami, and prarabdha. Sanchita, the karmas of the past which have yet to fructify. Agami karma, karmas that we set in place this lifetime. I'll be better, it'll be better if only. Those two are destroyed upon realization. This is it. All that's left is prarabdha, the karma of this lifetime. And the teaching is there for those of us in ignorance, because we look at the jnani and we see her moving around, eating, drinking, talking, etc. Oh, she's doing this because prarabdha karma. Oh, she got sick, prarabdha karma. But the mark of the jnani is she knows she's not the body. So if I look at my coffee cup and it has a crack in it, do I have a crack in me? No. If I drop it and break it, does anything happen to me? No. So from the viewpoint of the jnani, she has no prarabdha. Prarabdha can only be a description of the body. Now, the next question is, do you incarnate into the dream? Well, of course not. But it sure feels like I'm in the dream body. Yes, that's what it feels like. But upon awakening, I see, as Krishna says in Gita, I am not in them, they are in me. And the Vedanta thunders, you are not in the body is in you. And in fact, it's not even really in you because it's imagined. If you dream you're horseback riding, you don't wake up with a horse in bed with you. So the highest truth is there is no prarabdha that's real. How can you have a history and cause and effect for something that's fundamentally an imagination? I built the castle in the clouds with bricks, cause and effect. Of course not. I may imagine bricks, but it's not real cause and effect. You are never born. You do not die. All that's happened is that you've had this very long and very vivid dream. But it's never really touched you. Going on.
Questioner. Still, you must know the state of the man who died, at least from your own past lives. Maharaj, until I met my guru, I knew so many things. Now I know nothing. For all knowledge is in dream only and not valid. I know myself, and I find no life or death in me, only pure being, not being this or that, but just being. But the moment the mind, drawing on its stock of memories, begins to imagine, it fills the space with objects and time with events. As I do not know even this birth, how can I know past births? It is the mind that, itself in movement, sees everything moving, and having created time, worries about the past and future. All the universe is cradled in consciousness, Mahatattva, which arises when there is perfect order and harmony, Mahasattva. As all waves are in the ocean, so are all things physical and mental in awareness. Hence, awareness itself is all important, not the content of it. Deepen and broaden your awareness of yourself, and all the blessings will flow. You need not seek anything. All will come to you most naturally and effortlessly. The five senses and the four functions of the mind, memory, thought, understanding, and selfhood, the five elements, earth, water, fire, air, and ether, the two aspects of creation, matter and spirit, all are contained in awareness. Questioner: Yet you must believe in having lived before. Maharaj: The scriptures say so, but I know nothing about it. I know myself as I am. As I appeared, or will appear, is not within my experience. It is not that I do not remember. In fact, there is nothing to remember. Reincarnation implies a reincarnating self. There is no such thing. The bundle of memories and hopes, called the I, imagines itself existing everlastingly and creates time to accommodate its false eternity. To be, I need no past or future. All experience is born of imagination. I do not imagine, so no birth or death happens to me. Only those who think themselves born can think themselves reborn. You are accusing me of having been born. I plead not guilty. All exists in awareness, and awareness neither dies nor is reborn. It is the changeless reality itself. All the universe of experience is born within the body and dies with the body. It has its beginning and end in awareness, but awareness knows no beginning or end. If you think it out carefully and brood over it for a long time, you will come to see the light of awareness in all its clarity, and the world will fade out of your vision. It's like looking at a burning incense stick. You see the stick and the smoke first. When you notice the fiery point, you realize that it has the power to consume mountains of sticks and fill the universe with smoke. Timelessly, the self actualizes itself without exhausting its infinite possibilities. In the incense stick simile, the stick is the body and the smoke is the mind. As long as the mind is busy with its contortions, it does not perceive its own source. The Guru comes and turns your attention to the spark within. By its very nature, the mind is outward turned. It always tends to seek for the source of things among the things themselves. To be told to look for the source within, in a way, is the beginning of a new life. Awareness takes the place of consciousness. In consciousness, there is the I who is conscious, while awareness is undivided. Awareness is aware of itself. The I am is a thought, while awareness is not a thought. There is no I am aware in awareness. Consciousness is an attribute, while awareness is not. One can be aware of being conscious, but not conscious of awareness. God is the totality of consciousness, but awareness is beyond all, being as well as not being.
And again, reviewing his use of terms, the translator is translating the word Chaitanya as consciousness, the stuff of mind, universally. He's using awareness to translate chit, which is another name for myself. So it's a little bit different usage of language than we're used to, that's all. Going on.
Questioner. I had started with the question about the condition of a man after death. When his body is destroyed, what happens to his consciousness? Does he carry his senses of seeing and hearing along with him? Or does he leave them behind? And if he loses his senses, what becomes of his consciousness? Maharaj. Senses are mere modes of perception. As the grosser modes disappear, finer states of consciousness emerge. Questioner. Is there no transition to awareness after death? Maharaj. There can be no transition from consciousness to awareness, for awareness is not a form of consciousness. Consciousness can only become more subtle and refined, and that is what happens after death. As the various vehicles of man die off, the modes of consciousness induced by them also fade away.
So let's use a far more practical experience. So Monday, I got my COVID and my flu shots. Tuesday morning, I awakened at 4 a.m. and my body ached and I couldn't sleep and I felt really crappy. But I was there before I took the shot, before I went to sleep. I illumined the body, mind, feeling sickly on Tuesday. By Tuesday evening, the symptoms had abated. I felt better. I was aware of it. Went to bed last night, slept well, woke up. I felt so much better. I is continuous. I doesn't change. So one could metaphorically say, the Jim that felt fine died, and a sickly Jim was born. Then that Jim died, and a well Jim was born. But I went nowhere. I undergoes no change. And even when this body dies, as it has every 7 years throughout your life, you go nowhere. You are the same yesterday, today, and forever. You have no empirical evidence that you change. And every day you have empirical evidence that the world changes. Any thoughts on this? Now, if in my mind I suffer from adhyasa, superimposition, where I superimpose on myself the qualities of the not self, then I start taking the dream as real. But it's not my real direct experience. Going on.
As the various vehicles of man die off, the modes of consciousness induced by them also fade away. Questioner. Until only unconsciousness remains? Maharaj. Look at yourself talking of unconsciousness as something that comes and goes. Who is there to be conscious of unconsciousness? As long as the window is open, there is sunlight in the room. With the window shut, the sun remains, but does it see the darkness in the room? Is there anything like darkness to the sun? There is no such thing as unconsciousness, for unconsciousness is not experienceable. We infer unconsciousness where there is a lapse in memory or communication. If I stop reacting, you will say that I am unconscious. In reality, I may be most acutely conscious, but unable to communicate or remember. Questioner. I am asking a simple question. There are about 4 billion people in the world, and they are all bound to die. What will be their condition after death? Not physically, but psychologically. Will their consciousness continue? And if it does, in what form? Do not tell me that I am not asking the right question, or that you do not know the answer, or that in your world my question is meaningless. The moment you start talking about your world and my world as different and incompatible, you build a wall between us. Either we live in one world, or your experience is of no use to us. Maharaj, of course we live in one world. Only I see it as it is, while you don't. You see yourself in the world, while I see the world in myself. To you, you are born and die, while to me, the world appears and disappears. Our world is real, but your view of it is not. There is no wall between us except the one built by you. There is nothing wrong with the senses. It is your imagination that misleads you. It covers up the world as it is with what you imagine it to be, something existing independently of you, and yet closely following your inherited or acquired patterns. There is a deep contradiction in your attitude which you do not see, and which is the cause of sorrow. You cling to the idea that you were born into a world of pain and sorrow. I know that the world is a child of love, having its beginning, growth, and fulfillment in love. But I am even beyond love. Questioner. If you have created the world out of love, why is it so full of pain? Maharaj. You are right, from the body's point of view. But you are not the body. You are the immensity and infinity of consciousness. Don't assume what is not true, and you will see things as I see them. Pain and pleasure, good and bad, right and wrong. These are relative terms and must not be taken absolutely. They are limited and temporary. Questioner. In the Buddhist tradition, it is stated that a nirvani, an enlightened Buddha, has the freedom of the universe. He can know and experience for himself all that exists. He can command, interfere with nature, with the chain of causation, change the sequence of events, even undo the past. The world is still with him, but he is free in it. Maharaj. What you describe is God. Of course, where there is a universe, there will also be its counterpart, which is God. But I am beyond both. There was a kingdom in search of a king. They found the right man and made him king. In no way had he changed. He was merely given the title, the rights, and the duties of a king. His nature was not affected, only his actions. Similarly with the enlightened man, the content of his consciousness undergoes a radical transformation, but he is not misled. He knows the changeless. Questioner: the changeless cannot be conscious. Consciousness is always of change. The changeless leaves no trace in consciousness. Maharaj: yes and no. The paper is not the writing, yet it carries the writing. The ink is not the message, nor is the reader's mind the message, but they all make the message possible. Questioner: does consciousness come down from reality, or is it an attribute of matter? Maharaj: consciousness as such is the subtle counterpart of matter. Just as inertia, tamas, and energy, rajas, are attributes of matter, so does harmony, sattva, manifest itself as consciousness. You may consider it in a way as a form of very subtle energy. Wherever matter organizes itself into a stable organism, consciousness appears spontaneously. With the destruction of the organism, consciousness disappears. Questioner: then what survives? Maharaj: that of which matter and consciousness are but aspects, which is neither born nor dies. Questioner: if it is beyond matter and consciousness, how can it be experienced? Maharaj: it can be known by its effects on both. Look for it in beauty and in bliss. But you will understand neither body nor consciousness unless you go beyond both.
And I would add to him that in truth, yourself, the self awareness is the most present, obvious dimension of life. It is so obvious and so present, everybody misses it. How do you know you are you? You do not see, hear, taste, touch, or smell yourself. That's the phenomenal world. You're not a feeling. You're not a thought. Yet you are not unknown. And the great cosmic joke is everybody already has it. It's always you. But I create all these narratives in my mind. All of them fundamentally rooted in the superimposition. I am the body. It's like looking into a distorted mirror and being convinced that because the mirror is distorted, I am distorted. That's all it is. Going on.
Questioner: please tell us squarely, are you conscious or unconscious? Maharaj: the enlightened Jnani is neither, but in his enlightenment, Jnana, all is contained. Awareness contains every experience, but he who is aware is beyond every experience. He is beyond awareness itself. Questioner. There is the background of experience, call it matter. There is the experiencer, call it mind. What makes the bridge between the two? Maharaj, the very gap between is the bridge. That which at one end looks like matter and at the other like mind is itself the bridge. Don't separate reality into mind and body, and there will be no need for bridges. Consciousness arising, the world arises. When you consider the wisdom and beauty of the world, you call it God. Know the source of it all, which is in yourself, and you will find all your questions answered. Questioner. The seer and the seen, are they one or two? Maharaj. There is only seeing. Both the seer and the seen are contained in it. Don't create differences where there are none.
So this becomes easier to understand again if we go to the dream state. When you in the dream look out and see a dream object, is it one or is it two? Well, it certainly seems like two. I, the dreamer, see the elephant in my dream. But in fact, it's my one mind having refracted into the triple factor of knower, knowing, and known. Going on.
Questioner. I began with the question about the man who died. You said that his experiences will shape themselves according to his expectations and beliefs. Maharaj, before you were born, you expected to live according to a plan which you yourself had laid down. Your own will was the backbone of your destiny. Questioner. Surely karma interfered. Maharaj, karma shapes the circumstances. The attitudes are your own. Ultimately, your character shapes your life, and you alone can shape your character. Questioner. How does one shape one's character? Maharaj. By seeing it as it is and being sincerely sorry. This integral seeing feeling can work miracles. It is like casting a bronze image. Metal alone or fire alone will not do it, nor will the mold be of any use. You have to melt down the metal in the heat of the fire and cast it in the mold. That's the end of the chapter.
So that last part is incredibly important. One of the things that keeps us bound is my unwillingness to admit what a jerk I am. So what the yogi must do is embrace this entire human experience. I'm a liar, I'm a cheat, I'm a thief, I'm greedy, I'm selfish. I'm also generous and kind and loving and caring. This mind is all of it. But if ego steps in and says, I'm going to pretend I'm not greedy, selfish, etc., then we're unable to have the transforming experience. That just being conscious of that gives us. We lose the ability to choose. And what the young people talk about today, we act out instead. We unconsciously act on these issues. So what Maharaj is saying here, it's incredibly valuable to let the unconscious unload. The first real act of our intention to abandon egoism is the willingness to see the mind as it is. Any thoughts on this?
There is a line, there's like a song verse that's coming to my mind. And I don't know if it's from Christian scripture or not, but it goes, hold the hands of sinners, then we will pass. I don't know if it's maybe a reference to scripture. I don't know.
I don't know that song, but it's a good lyric.
Mm.
And the other part of this, I was told a poem when I was in music school 1,000 years ago. The teacher said, "Our secret stores of privacies, thoughts hidden even from our own eyes, shout and proclaim themselves loudly in our public lives." So even when I am in denial about a character defect, a klesha, everybody else knows about it. And this is the value of having a significant other. They will tell you. And whether you want it or not. Okay, this is a good place to stop. Yeah. What chapter for next week?
57.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari